Hello! Back again with another video. There's another maintenance tutorial. And this is actually a redux of my first video ever made, which is unlisted because it's a horrible video. To teach you guys how to disassemble, clean, and reassemble a channel construction Balisong, specifically the 42, these are the things you are going to need. Torx Bits, you're going to need a T6 and a T8 for this specifically. There we are. Blue Loctite, of course. A cup that says Bing Bong. Alcohol in said cup. Maybe like a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch. Q-tips, very useful. Hammer. For the Benchmade 42, you need a hammer. And you need something very thin to hammer. You'll understand later. It's because of the pivot cups. You will also need paper towels and some sort of pliers or tweezers, very useful, just for pulling things that are being a little stubborn. Also, you need toothpicks. Lastly, Dunkaroos. To start, we're going to take off the spring latch. So the spring latch, ignore that this is up. The spring latch is a system where you've got the female side of the screw and the male side of the screw, and this is the latch. It sits on this screw, and then this little spring in there connects and makes sure that the spring always stays up straight. So first, get your T6s out, start unscrewing these, and every single bit of hardware that we take off, we throw into the Bing Bong alcohol container. Now these should just pop through, so you can kind of just push them through like that. And now when I pull this, it's going to take the tension off of the spring. See? This goes in there. And then we're going to push this one through too. Now keep your fingers holding this latch, because the spring, it's going to want to fall. Pop that in there. Now we see we have the latch and the spring dangling. So we're just going to set this off to the side. We do not need to clean this in alcohol. We'll reassemble that later. So now we've got a latchless Benchmade 42. You're going to want to switch from a T6 to a T8. And then start unscrewing. And these are tight, so I'm going to reinforce this. You know the drill in the alcohol. If these start spinning, the spacer, if the female side starts spinning, push on it as hard as you can with a finger to try to keep it from spinning. If that doesn't work, put on like a latex glove, that'll give you more grip. If that doesn't work, you might have to warm this up to try to get burn off the Loctite. Alright, so these are pressure fit cups right here, which means that they are usually hammered in. This is where the hammer comes into play. So this little pin, you can use a pin. You don't want, since there's threads in this cup, you do not want to break those threads. I set my pin in there, I get my little hammer, and I did you see that? There's the cup. And we pop that into the Bing Bong. And now when you slide this off, there are going to be washers that fall out, so don't lose the washers. And a lot of Loctite also fell out. Drop the washers in the Bing Bong. And now we have a weird butterfly knife. Very sad butterfly knife. Alright, now for the next one. And there. It's probably better to do this with a vise, but I don't own a vise. And there you go. Second one, in the alcohol. Get your pin back out. We're done with the pin for now. These go right in there. Jiggle this around. You want to try to get the alcohol into all the nooks and crannies of the pivot cups. Now we have 2 channel handles and a blade. Beautiful. Alright, back to it. So I've let these soak for about 5 minutes to help break down any Loctite. You can make them soak longer, doesn't matter. Being in alcohol is nothing but good for this. But now what we're gonna do, grab this Q-tip. Ooh, that was unintentional, but whatever. Give yourself some alcohol on it. And the first thing we're gonna clean is in these holes. Get yourself some cleaning in there. Got full of lube and dust. And you don't want lube and dust. Alright, nice and clean. Now dry it out. But alcohol dries very quickly, so you don't have to be incredibly thorough because it'll evaporate. Alright, that's that. Blade's done. These, same exact thing. Get some of this. And we're just gonna stick it in there, spin it around a bit. Get all the gross blackness, lube, and dust out of there. Same for number 2. And that's that. Alright, that's everything clean. Channel style construction is a very simple butterfly knife to take care of, in my opinion. So next, we're gonna evacuate the bing bong. First, we're gonna get something to evacuate the bing bong onto. You pull everything out and let it dry. There we go. Kinda rub it against the paper towels, try to get alcohol out of any cups. Rub the washers against the paper towels to help wash off that lubricant. And for these bigger pivot cups, you may want to take this, try to stick it in there, soak up the alcohol because it's not going to evaporate as quick. Or you can take a paper towel, spin it up like this, get it in there, kind of spin it around, because you don't want alcohol in this once you have Loctite. That will mess the Loctite up. And look at, I'm pulling bits of Loctite out anyway. Great thing to do. So the first thing I'm going to do is reassemble the latch. Now I am not going to Loctite the latch because I'm not going to actually keep the latch on the knife. Because I'm not a latch person. But I will show you how to do it. So first we grab the latch. You see there are 2 holes. You grab the spring. And you take this and you put it through the smaller of the holes. Voila. Finally, spring and latch. So you take this, you know this handle is the latch handle because it has more holes in it. You will now let this go down like this. Alright, take 2. You will now let this go down as such, and you will see the spring in there. The hole, this hole right here, you'll see it through that other hole. Yeah, right there. So now we're gonna take one of these cups and thread it through this hole and the spring's hole. And there we go. So now the spring has been threaded through the cup. Now the second hole, you want to line the hole that is on the latch. You can see it right there, hopefully. And we're going to pop it through both of those holes. So you take the second cup, push it through, and then you just pull up on the latch a little and push it through that hole. And there you go. You have your spring latch. Now you will take your two T6 screws, you will screw them in. Well, you will Loctite them and then screw them in. I will be skipping this step because I hate latches. So get the hell out of there. Next is a crucial part, a very important part. You want to make sure that your bite handle is your bite handle, your safe handle is your safe handle. So your latch handle is always a bite handle, unless your butterfly knife is made incorrectly. So think about holding a butterfly, this is the latch handle. Think about holding it like this, and then, right, you get killed, immediately death. So you want it to be like this. And then this can be a safe handle, where if you're holding it, you're not getting cut. So that's gonna be like that. So you wanna line these up so that you do not mess that up in the future. So first thing is first, we have to thread these cups. So you take this, you push it through just a little bit. See, it's through there just a little bit. Now you're gonna take a washer, thread it onto that little bit of raised cup. Now you're gonna take your knife, line up that hole, push it through a little bit. Now you're gonna take your second washer, pop it through here. Washers are a pain in the ass. Alright, you want to line it up so now you can push the pivot through the washer now. It takes finagling, it's not a quick process. If you need to, you can take something very thin and try to push it. Alright, I think that's good. So the reason why this isn't pushing it anymore is because it is pressure fit. So now that we have the washer stable and where it needs to be, you can now take a hammer and hammer in this pivot. And there we go. We've got one on. Alright, now it's the same exact process for the next one. Pick it up. Put it in there a little bit. I'll wash your arm raise spot. I'll leave it there. I'm just pushing it. There we go. I'll go over there. You hammer in your final pivot cup. Give them a couple smacks just to make sure that they're in there. Welcome back again to a much messier workplace because this knife fucking hates me, but that's neither here nor there. So we're going to put the Loctite on the screws. You take a toothpick, you get it on a little bit of the toothpick just like that, and you're essentially going to paint this Loctite onto about 2 or 3 threads worth of the screw, just like that. Now we're going to take this and we're going to screw it into this just a little bit, and now finish up that screw. And being a channel style Balisong, you can screw this pretty tight and it won't affect flipping, but you still can't be too tight. So screw it a little bit, see when the handle gets stuck, and then back it out a little bit so that the handle moves freely. Alright, same exact procedure for the next screw. Paint on about 2 or 3 threads worth of Loctite, not too much, just like that. And there you go, there's your fully tuned and maintained butterfly Benchmade 42. I hope you enjoyed, and I will be doing more in the future. Peace.